Give it up, everybody, for North Ohio's Regional Burning Man Contact. He is also the co-founder and one of the main movers and shakers, and let us assume drillers and hammerers and stackers, and you know how Burning Man stuff gets. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Everyman, a Mosaic festival, Mosaic Regional Burn. Mr. Everyman.
Oh, good. There's my clock.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. I've been going to Burning Man since the year 2000. Has anybody been going that long?
Yeah!
Okay, I don't feel that old now. After I came back from Burning Man for the very first time, I just couldn't wait to tell the rest of Cleveland, Ohio about the burn and the great mothership. I had to bring that energy back, and I needed to bring all those people back to Burning Man with me. I came back again in 2001, and I didn't go in 2002. And when I didn't go in 2002, I really, really, really needed to have Burning Man at home. By the way, the name of this presentation is Epic Success from Epic Failure. Don't read too much into that. I just think it's a better... Well, it's a much better title than Our Fuck Up is Our Fortune. 2007 is a real important year. 2007 was the first year I took an event that I had inside of my house. I started in 2002 called Recycled Rainbow. Thanks for that. Recycled Rainbow was an event that was mostly performance-based, a lot of experimental art, a lot of experimental noise, experimental music. There's a PowerPoint presentation in my garage. There were art installations in my front yard, my backyard, my neighbor's driveway, my neighbor's driveway. We had the cops call on us several times, it's time to move. 2007, we had over 100 people in my house. We had to get out. We had to go outdoors. That was the year that Ohio had its first outdoor burns. And Recycled Rainbow ended up being Northern Ohio's first outdoor burn. I figured that we would have the 100 people that we had in my house, and they could just pick them up and drop them on a campground, and everything would just be hunky-dory. There's no faster way to piss off a community than to move them from indoors to outdoors. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting out of the light. In 2007, all of our team leads were from Cleveland, Ohio. We had this mentality of starting our event really small, but we had to grow really fast. We were concentrating more on getting more people to the event. We weren't really thinking years down the road, we were thinking this year. Let's just get more people in the door. Let's show how big this is. Let's get more art. Let's get more volunteerism, more participation. We really wanted to have that outdoor experience that we previously had indoors. Money in a personal bank account. Well, that year it was kept in a shoebox. We never charged money to the Recycled Rainbow event in the house. But we had to pay the owner of the campground to hold this event outdoors. So we charged money, and we didn't really have a concept of insuring the event. We didn't really have a concept of having a business account. This was just the very first attempt of taking something outdoors. I did say that this presentation's theme is Epic Success from Epic Failure, didn't I? We didn't really have teams. We had organizers, and they were their own teams. In the house, we didn't have to have a DPW. We didn't really have an ESD. When we went outdoors, ESD, Emergency Services Department, was a person for the first year. DPW was the guy who hung the signs. Greeters was the girl, Starly Drake, from Transformers, who ran our gate with her dad. That was our gate. We fixed a lot of these things throughout the year, and throughout the several years. In 2012, that was a pinnacle year. We like to refer to that as collapse and rebirth of Recycled Rainbow. See that picture there? We had a theme that year. It's called Fuck It, Let's Go to Lakes of Fire. No, we really tried to make Recycle Rainbow happen that year. We ran into a lot of problems. The entire presentation could be focused on just those. Skimming over them, we had team leads quitting from burnout. How familiar does that sound? The projected population of that year's event was exceeding the capacity of the land. It was exceeding the capacity of our volunteerism. We were really focusing on growing and growing and growing, and we were doing that, but our volunteer base was not growing. The event name, I'm not going to go into too much detail there. It's called Recycle Rainbow. People thought it was a rainbow festival or it was a burn exclusively for gays. Now, I'm not knocking any of the organizers of this event. I love the organizers of Recycle Rainbow, and I love that event. It's a big part of my history. It's where I'm coming from. I was one of the key organizers of that event. We learned about succession planning through the years of doing Recycle Rainbow, that you can't be doing this every single year as yourself without having a team of people that are interested in replacing you. You have to have succession planning. We decided to relocate to some larger land because we were exceeding the capacity of the land that we were on. We emphasized volunteerism a lot more than participation. By the way, that is participation. We needed to change the name of the event, we knew that. Changed the name of the event to Mosaic Experiment. Actually, I had that name in my pocket for a long time, and that's a presentation by itself. But Mosaic speaks to diversity, and I think every burn is an experiment. Besides, we thought Lakes of Fire really needed a burn in the fall. That was our first year. You can see it says home. It felt like home. It still feels like home. It's not a really large burn, and I don't think that a burn needs to be a very large burn to be successful. In fact, I would argue the smaller burns feel more like home than the very large burns like the big spaceship in the desert. With 70,000 people, it's kind of hard to make a lot of connections there, you know? When you wake up in the morning the next day at a burn with a few hundred people, you know every single face that you look at. At this point in 2013, it was me and my wife. We were the only ones left from Recycle Rainbow. We started reaching out to communities outside of Ohio, outside of Cleveland, throughout Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, Kentucky, North Carolina. We just, I don't know, there's an ego about it. We were doing everything locally. We wanted everything to be Northern Ohio, and then we just cut that loose and decided it's not about Cleveland. It's not about Ohio. It's about the region. We decided we were going to grow slow. We started thinking long-term, not short-term. We did have an LLC at this point. We started insuring the events at this point. Our organizers had teams. We were no longer having one person building the signs. They had teams building the signs. We didn't have one medic. We had several medics. We had several rangers, several greeters. That look familiar, that truck? Syncytium? Syncytium made it to Mosaic in 2014. That's last year's event. For those not keeping up with the dates. It was the most attended burn that we've ever had in Ohio. It's the first burn to sell its cap in Ohio. Our cap was $350. By the way, this year, 2015, we're raising it to $400. We know that growth is natural, but we can't. Not going from $350 to $1,000. And a lot of you have convinced me not to do this. We have participants from 17 different states. Just kind of get that in your head, 350 people from 17 different states. There's a lot of burns with thousands of people that can't make those same claims. That's my theme camp, Under Siege. It's really hard to tell, but that's me DJing. This year we're planning on expanding our medic department, we're planning on expanding DPW, the Art Grants Committee, fire and safety is a very large concern. We're going to be doing open call-outs on the internet in April and May. Please look for that. I made a lot of connections with a lot of interesting people here who have been asking these questions. Speaking of fire and safety. How did we learn? Fucked up repeatedly. I've been going to the Burning Man Global Leadership Conferences since 2009. That is where I first learned about filing for an LLC and taking money out of the shoebox and putting it somewhere more responsible. Regional burns such as Lakes of Fire has taught me a great deal. Our waiver concept came from Lakes of Fire, which is a great waiver. Cookie, I don't know if she's here, Cynthia Jones. I don't know if this is going on YouTube or not, but she ran the retreat for Mosaic in 2014 in January, and if it wasn't for her, I'm not really sure I'd be here right now. She's taught us a great deal. She's really helped us progress forward and make us think about 5 years ahead. She told us that every single one of you team leads, you shouldn't be doing this in 3 years. I think that's really great fucking advice. That was our effigy. The theme was Hive Mind, M-I-N-E-D, because the event takes place in a reclaimed strip mine. Not a lot of people got the pun. They got upset because they're hive mind. You don't want to be like everybody else. You know, beehives. It's a reclaimed strip mine. Oh, jeez, fucking burners. That's Master Pokes with his son Hunter, who thankfully could go to Mosaic last year because we're a radically inclusive, all ages burn.
Yeah.
We will always be.
Thank you.
New breed of burns, I'm telling you, this is why I'm here to talk to you. This is when I say experiments from experience, it goes to all of these other burns like Lakes of Fire who had to learn from scratch. And Recycled Rainbow, we had to learn from scratch. If it wasn't for burns like you guys, if it wasn't for burns like Transformist and Alchemy and Flipside, we're not so much starting from scratch, we're starting off where they left off. This is a real important point here. Black Rock City can only happen in Nevada. I understand that. Regional burns are they're not in the Black Rock Desert. But all regional burns are Burning Man. I would say this is Burning Man right now. We're having Burning Man right now. There's so much creativity, there's so much innovation, there's so much interest and fascination and excitement going on in this room and out in the hall. During one of the last presentations, I just went to the restroom and had 15 really fun conversations on my way back into the room and missed the whole damn presentation. Because there's just so much interest in creating new things. I understand the concept of welcome home. And when I think about home, I think this right here, I'm so glad that you guys invited me here. This feels like home to me. You feel like home to me. I've made a lot of friendships here already. I've met a lot of people that I want to meet again. I want to hang out with again. I want to come back to Detroit. I haven't been to Detroit since the 90s. I can't wait to come back. I feel like I've just gone to Burning Man for the first time. I want to go back to Cleveland and bring everybody here with me. I want more of these. This is Burning Man. When we think about progress, human technological progress, I think about proximity. When I think about home, I think about close to home. Burning Man is across the country from me. Think about technology, the desktop. Then it became the laptop. It's in your lap. Then it became a tablet, a phone you're holding in your hands. Then it becomes a watch, it's on your wrist. There's so much technology in Burning Man's history. And there's so much technology to human progress. It is human progress to bring home closer to home. I think we're doing that here. And I want to take all of you home with me. Okay? October 1 through 4, please don't schedule anything that weekend. I would like you guys to come out here. We really went out of our way to make sure that we weren't conflicting with any decompressions, volunteer parties, or anything like that happening in Michigan. Last year in Michigan was about 30% of our attendance, and there's a lot more planning to come this year. We definitely need volunteers in those departments that I talked to you about. Please look for those call-outs. MosaicExperiment.com. Please sign up for our newsletter. We are pushing much more to get away from Facebook. We are telling stories on our website. If you've looked at our website, we have blogs there about our theme camps and our art installations. We've been interviewing artists, and every couple of weeks uploading these interviews meticulously. I don't see a lot of storytelling in regional communities. We're trying to set a precedent that on your main website, you should be telling stories. Don't keep this a secret. Let people know about all the cool shit that we're doing. You want to contact me, that's my email address, but of course you can talk to me when I'm done here. I really appreciate the Tangent Gallery for hosting this, and I appreciate the attention of everybody here for my presentation. I hope this didn't suck too bad.
Everyman, everybody, he's Everyman's man. He's the Everyman. He's Everyman. He's the best.
So a hug would be like, wanna hug me?
No, yeah. Yeah.
If you like slightly left, I have to
No,
interject. It's right here.